Hello! Another explanation video. Doing all the businesses today, folks. Like my entrance, I'm trying to be creative and entertain you. We don't want this to be too boring. Today's highlight, what will it be? Pull it out of the hat. ZenWood. ZenWood and ZenWoodStudio.com. ZenWood is something that actually first started out as an eco-friendly landscaping company. That was several other names as it went along its process. And it sort of turned into, I would say, I started focusing on indoor plants and creating an indoor plant nursery, fairy gardens, air plants. I was really trying to refine the home decor. And I was also using compost tea, organic materials, and starting to get creative with artistic expression. So it's like you just got a potted plant, right? Well, what can you do to really make it pop? What can you do to really make it earthy and organic and cool? So I started getting into different materials, charcoal and even hydroponic materials that are weird, clay-shaped pebbles and things, as not just a medium, and of course as a medium, creating soil blends and whatnot. I was also trying to see what is like attractive and appealing, and how can I layer this or use it as a top dressing, something that's not necessarily just regular mulch, which is fine, and using that too, of course. So then, and let's just say ZenWood is still that. I temporarily took out the live plant factor. It will reincorporate into ZenWood, so I think it's important to mention that that is a part of ZenWood. I have not added it yet, but trust me, it's definitely going to be a part of it. So the other part of ZenWood, which sort of frog leaped off of that original concept, is art that is using landscape materials yet has no living organic component to it, no plants. So it's all the things that would go with plants and the aesthetics that some of these nurseries create, art products, and creating sort of Zen gardens and sand tray gardens and terrarium based gardens with no plants, no moisture, no insects, no drama. I love indoor plants. I will say this though, the one caveat is they attract insects. If you use unclean materials, such as say you were to buy sand, play sand at a Home Depot or a store like that, and they're not baking it and cleaning it, so you get like sand fleas will lay their eggs in there. And then you make the mistake of, I did this once when I was doing the indoor nursery. I put it in this container, right? And I was making a sand tray garden with gnomes and like little fake houses and rocks, and then I would make like a sand river, just trying to be creative. And sand fleas hatched in there, and then they would jump up and bite me when I would go down in the basement. So I like to use clean materials that don't have any organic component to it. Usually what has to happen is it has to go through some sort of low heat treating process. And you can find materials like that. Say you go to the pet store in the terrarium section, they have really clean wood that you can buy that you can use as art. And making sure you buy the rocks and sand from heat treated, and they're usually in plastic. And I know it may be a little bit wasteful and all that. I just believe that it's really good to do that. So it's interesting that someone like me that's so, and still is, very nature bound, very interested in organic and eco-friendly, and I studied permaculture, implemented that into my system. I've also studied biodynamics, never got a chance to implement that into the business. I think when I get further along with ZenWood, I would like to bring permaculture and biodynamics back into the picture. I really believe in these, and I think they're very valuable to human society. So also with the art, it allows a sort of therapy to happen. When you're creating the art, it's very therapeutic. And I did some sand tray therapy when I was younger, which is a legitimate psychological therapy. And I found it just so fascinating. There were figurines all over. You could pick all kinds of weird things, just wild things you wouldn't think of, and it does something to you. It allows you to express maybe, you're not able to express in words. So I figured ZenWood it's more than just art. And it's more than just living plants and living art. It's a way to heal. It's spiritual. It's a therapy. It's also tied to yoga, which is another business, another video. States of consciousness, like the therapy, like the subconscious, and dreams, can be fused into the art. And you're able to express all these different components that are very difficult to express in words into this tangible experience. That's what ZenWood is really about. I have made some pieces. Really, I'm just making prototypes right now. Anything you see is just posted up to just sort of see what people like, see if it's good, and also just to practice. Eventually, I will, through the prototypes, create a series and a line of products. And of course, I'll list them on the ZenWoodStudio.com site. For now, ZenWoodStudio.com is primarily just going to be a building database of images for free. Of course, they're all copyright and everything, but you'll be able to view them and look at them. And I just really like giving value and giving content, really accessible content, instead of just hiding everything. And yes, of course, I'll have products and you won't be able to access them without purchase. But I find a lot of small businesses, and no offense to anyone, I get it, they get kind of greedy, you know, they won't show you anything or give you anything. And I thought, I'm going to flip the switch on that, because I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, and being greedy as an entrepreneur ends up kicking you in the butt in the long run. So I'm going to give as much away as I can and really share and help. And then we can implement the full monetization system. But I'll still be giving. There'll still be a lot of free stuff. There'll still be a lot of eye candy. It's not like you're going to get something no matter what, even if you don't buy something. I just don't want to be that person. I never cared that much about money. It's just necessary. So with that, I hope you get something out of it, and I hope you enjoy ZenWood and it lights up your life in some way. That's all I really care about. Namaste. Thank you for your time.